fighter. So I was always in that mode of I'm being challenged. Being a gentleman, I have to be gentlemanly about my situation. I always have to equip myself well. I have to speak as though I am a champion. Champions don't curse. For me, this is my school. Champions don't say things to their opponents which are derogatory, because I want other fighters and other youngsters listening to this broadcast to understand you always have to be a gentleman. Being a gentleman is a champion. So even when you lose fights, you're still regarded as a champion if you conduct yourself as such. I've seen guys win belts and they then berate or belittle their opponents. Then they only have the belt. They don't have the respect or the hearts of the people. And the hearts of the people is what you're always trying to win. And you only can win it by being a gentleman. Like this particular fight. In fact, you know what? I can actually go back and think about the fact that after this particular contest, the plaudits I got from the media and from the fan base and from the country was extraordinary, because I lost like a gentleman. And up until the 12th round, I fought like a warrior, which is another word for gentleman. You never quit. You always go on. You always push on. You're under pressure, you come back. And what are you doing? You're giving the fans pleasure.
Let's get back to the fight. It's the day of the fight. You've arrived at the arena. You get into the dressing rooms. You're getting your hands wrapped. What's going through your head at that point, Chris? What was the general Chris Eubank dressing room like?
If Ronnie wasn't singing Danny Boy, oh Danny Boy, their fight's still boy, you know the one. I wish I could sing it like him. He was amazing. Ronnie would be singing that, and there would be silence. You know, this is not a social arena. People didn't come into the changing room talking about their subject matters and, you know, what happened yesterday, what's going to happen after the... In the changing room, there was silence. When people talk about music, I didn't understand that. I needed my focus. I don't want to hear about a guy rapping about the new bling he's got. I didn't want that in my head. And what I was thinking, when I was thinking, I wasn't thinking. There was nothing there. There was nothing in my mind. It's just like interviews. If I know what I'm going to say in the interview, it's never really a top interview. When I don't know what I'm going to say, it's when it's a brilliant interview. And the same follows with boxing. Please.
Well, you certainly performed in this fight. We're going to move you from the dressing room. Tina Turner, Simply the Best, your favourite piece of music, ring walk music, and there you are in the 9X arena. A baying crowd, you, and probably worse, as you intimated earlier.
Well, they're playing his tune again. Is this Chris Eubank's last stand?
So when I'm going out there to a baying crowd, oh no, fear is not the point. Not to say that I don't have it, but fear isn't the point. The point is distinction. I'm walking out to a crowd who are against me. Look at me. How wonderful is this? That I'm walking into the lion's den and I'm running towards danger.
So you feel it gives you a sort of superpower then, do you, Chris?
So what am I then? What am I if I'm walking towards certain danger? Of course I'm a superhero. No one else is doing this. Everybody runs the other way. Everybody else backs off as a fighter. Not only are we involved, we are walking towards danger. How am I doing it? Let's start. In that strut is the entire defiance. Yes, this is me. Look at me. All you guys are against me and I'm walking towards you guys. And I'm going to beat your man. And when I beat him, I'm not looking to just win his fan base by the way I destroy him. I'm looking to win the respect and the love of his mother and his father. I'm going to eviscerate him and win the respect of his parents and his siblings by doing it like a gentleman. Never belittling him, showing the most fantastic skill sets, doing it in such a way where the parents would say, that's right, my son was beaten by a gentleman. I cannot fault that man.
We get into the fight. It's round one. The bell goes. You start very fast, working the body with power, and your speed of hand is great. You're landing some great shots. And the crowd start chanting your name. Now you're in Cole Thompson's backyard. You're in Manchester and the crowd start chanting your name. Were you aware of this?
Probably I was aware of it. Only it's not something that I would have warmed to because I prefer the negative. But then I had earned that. I'd earned their respect, the ring presence, and what they refer to as the show, which I refer to as the components of being a box office fighter. I sometimes now think about no audiences being in the auditorium. How do you carry a fight? Because if you're only just going to get in there and fight, then you're not going to give the audience a show. But if you are aware that the ring walk is one component, and standing on the ring apron is another component, and vaulting the ropes is the third component, and your ring presence is the fourth component, and facing your opponent in front of the referee is the fifth component. And the sixth component is the first 3 minutes and how you acquit yourself in those first 3 minutes. And if you can put those all together, then you can carry an audience that is looking at it on the screen, not in the audience, there's no audience. You'll be able to carry a fight in its entirety. But if you're only thinking, I'm going to go in there and have a fight, then you're not taking any notice of all these components, which makes a whole fight. Do you see?
Well, Chris, you acquitted yourself brilliantly in that first round, winning the round, showing brilliant hand speed, brilliant body movement. In round two, you land a big right hand that hurts Cole Thompson.
He's not moving as much as I don't think, but a nice combination there.
He just rocked Thompson. Thompson's hurt. Thompson is hurt. Eubank's got him going. He has the power, even at cruiserweight. And now he's indulging in psychological warfare.
Instead of storming in, you seem to just stand back, motionless in front of him, assessing him. Did this give you confidence, knowing you had the power to hurt a guy that was a couple of weight divisions above your natural weight?
Confidence is you have to be careful with this word confidence, really, because you've got it, but you can't be a fool with it. Meaning that if I'm standing there and I'm not buying that you're buckled, then it means that irrespective of my confidence, irrespective of it, I'm intelligent. Let me just be careful here. Also added to that was obviously the Watson 2 fight, where I did lose my finishing instinct and didn't want to bludgeon opponents into submission. So there was always that at play after the Watson 2 fight. If I didn't go forward when I should have, that's more intelligence. And I can remember, I think it was maybe the fourth round, where I caught him with a shot and he buckled again, only to throw a perfect right hand. Perfect.
Oh, and a terrific right hand from Eubank, who set the sweat spraying, and now there's some kinology from Thompson.
You then land a big uppercut and you put him down.
Pretended to be hurt, and suckered Eubank in, and look at right now, he's going to do the right uppercut. The uppercut from Eubank, who needs to get to a neutral corner. Thompson is down, and he may be in trouble. It's a mandatory 8.
Tell us what you're thinking at this stage.
Here we are again. We're in the fire. It's a beautiful place, because you can't always be there, but when you're in the fire and you are somewhat in control, you are in a special place. You are in a special place. Every individual listening to this, how many times have you been in real and present danger? And it's not something you're running from. Huh? So not many people get this privilege, this wonder of being able to be a live wire. It's not about winning or losing, it's being in the fire.
Coming up on Fighter My Life on Talksport.
I remember saying to Ernie Fossey, slit my eye so that the fluid could drain out so I could see. Slit my eye. Slit it.